Colorful Dreamer.
Colorful Dreamer. Okay. Okay.
Some murder stuff.
Okay. So we definitely gonna promote that, right?
Yeah, we
okay.
can.
And
I mean, we're doing it right now.
So what type of writing do you do?
Wait, are we recording?
Yes.
Oh!
Welcome to 2.98.
You gotta let us know.
Where we talk about anything and anybody with no judgment, with different lenses about
who,
what should and can't be done or said. I am your host, Ajax.
And I'm your host, Rashawn Ali.
In return, we got our honorary guest,
Marie.
Mrs. Ajax.
This is Ajax.
And today our guest
Today we have a guest.
is...
Myrna.
Oh, you want to go about Myrna?
What's your handle?
What's your
Oh,
handle?
Beloved Dimples.
Okay,
Beloved underscore Dimples.
That's what I'm talking about.
Beloved Dimples.
Okay, but AKA Myrna, okay?
Yeah.
So we ain't be talking. We're not directing our conversations towards the dimple. So you know,
But you're gonna see them through this whole interview.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Okay.
I know that's right.
How we doing?
Man, welcome. First of all, welcome.
Mm.
It's good to be back. This is the first.
This is the first
since
time
I came back
since
from Colombia.
you took your journey. Yeah.
Oh, where were you in Colombia?
Wow, I was in Colombia for like a month, right?
Oh.
It was like
Almost a
like,
month.
like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 3 weeks. Colombia was beautiful. I'm definitely excited back. I'm refreshed. I needed that spiritual cleansing.
Came back to a Marion. You okay?
Oh man, I'm done. We ain't have all of that going on
Oh,
over there.
man.
It
I
wasn't-
bet.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I'm taking the fruit from the trees. You ain't have to worry. But it wasn't none of that frantic fear or nothing like that. It
Really?
was no.
Wow,
it
no
wasn't
masks?
No. It was masks, but like in the cities, like so like if you go to where a lot of people the resorts area in Cartagena and Medellin, like that's more where people from out of the country is really flying to Colombia. That's where they want to go, those two cities, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But like in Cali, it wasn't really that serious. They don't. It's not like a big push like on vaccination over there. It's not a big push for that. People who get it, they recover like this. They eat
Wow.
out of their backyard.
Correct,
You know what I'm saying?
correct.
So it was. You know what was amazing? I'm sorry to slide. I had to slide this in. So you know how people selling fruits and vegetables and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you know where they get their fruits and vegetables from?
Wait a minute.
Like they not even. I do not know. I mean, I know they didn't plug it in.
Meanwhile, I'm like, what's happening?
Yes, my boy didn't even. It's
Oh,
alright
wow.
though.
It's
But did they
okay.
Respectfully.
You
Respectfully.
need to shift it a little bit.
Yeah, because he's not
I
in
do
there.
that.
Yeah.
Dog it.
It's all right.
We need to do him.
No.
No,
You first.
it's good.
It's just gonna be
The sound is just gonna be
It's a
different.
nice mic.
Okay.
Well, we ain't get into the question yet.
Or
So-
introduction, so
or
it's
introduction, so it's cool.
fine. All right, there you
Maybe
go.
we kind of did do the introduction.
A little bit.
No, I mean, you gotta introduce Myrna.
But
Yeah.
what I just wanted to say, what's funny is how you go out, you go buy fruits for a low cost and then resell
Sell
it,
it.
right?
Yeah.
They literally was just picking fruits from the
Oh.
trees
Yeah.
And
And
selling
selling
it.
it.
and then going out and you see them selling it,
Oh, wow.
cutting it all up. So like it's the little extra work that you're doing. That's the, but it was at low cost.
But
Like,
that's how it used to be.
yeah. But it was a beautiful thing. Like the just feeling.
The way it's supposed to be.
I mean,
Right.
it's actually the way it is. We're just so disconnected from the nature aspect of it. We're actually going to the supermarket just to get the job that's already done.
No, but we're talking about the sellers, like the people who
No,
sell the fruits.
I was about to
like
say, we're
they
talking-
buy it at a low cost at a wholesaler and then they resell it. But like back in the day, you were the
Right.
farmer and you were just harvesting.
You were
and then
harvesting,
were
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
going back
Because
and
the
selling it.
difference, I was about to say, that's the difference.
Yeah.
These not farmers.
Right.
This is literally like a tree that's hanging in the middle of the street.
Oh, shit.
Like you're walking downtown.
But it belongs to somebody. Not just anybody could just go pluck that tree
no,
and sell it.
no. I said you're downtown Warren,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's trees Literally.
Wait.
They just taking.
It's not the owner of the
No.
tree? Oh, what?
Well, that seems a little odd because
No, listen.
That
Y'all
seems
not
like
listen. Y'all not.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Somebody's owed
it's
some
not.
money.
It's not even thievery. It's
it's
just
even thievery.
listen. It's just like you going to the park and there's a park full of apple trees.
But
And,
like, who
So I'm going to pluck the
decides?
apple and say,
but,
here.
every tree
25
that
cents.
grows is a fruit tree, though.
But like, who decides? I could monopolize every tree.
Correct. That's the part.
Listen, I don't know that now.
I don't know
Now
if
you
this
get
is
into
a
politics.
capitalism.
I was about to say, listen, I don't know.
I don't know if it's a capitalist
I didn't get
way of
into the
thinking.
politics of it.
But if I were there, I'd be like, okay, let me see how I can sit here and monopolize every tree.
I got you, but I'm not thinking about the politics of it. I just was going out running, and I'm seeing
Well,
like
I
the
can't be
people
there.
setting. First of all, they the streets is moving at 6 a.m.
Right.
right there. It's the same time, because once you go back on the time over here, we on the same time frame. So like everybody's up and moving at 6 a.m.
So
already
I would wake
out.
up at 2 a.m. I would pluck every fruit and then I would just sell it.
But this is what they're doing.
No, like me.
Oh,
That
you talking about
seems a
Like,
little
I
odd
take
because
every-
listen, I lived in Haiti for a little bit, right? And we had a couple of trees in our
Weren't you
yard.
born in Haiti?
Mango trees.
That part.
Yeah, I was born there, but I didn't grow up there.
Okay.
I went back there for a few
Alright.
years.
We both were. I'm just saying.
No, we're gonna talk later. But anyway,
We both from the Bay.
so we had coconut trees, we had mango trees, and whatever, right? But nobody could come and pluck from that tree. It's not
Correct.
theirs.
Right. It's,
But no, that's because that's your tree.
That's
That's
what
what I'm
we're
saying.
trying to
But
figure
this is a public. I'm saying these is
it's like a public park.
park. It's like a public park. It's like
Well, I guess somebody gotta cultivate them and sell them. So okay, if that's the case, then
No,
okay.
I
no,
would say- I
but
would
I'm
just do
saying they falling from like all right. So we went to go. Yeah, I don't think y'all getting this. Like we
I
like
got what you're
walking.
saying. I
So
get it.
walking through the it's like a historical park area.
Yeah.
Right now that I'm about to speak a specific area, right?
Okay.
Where all of the old kingpins who's in jail now, all of the houses, people scared to move in those houses because of, of the history of that house or whatever is owned by a cartel family,
Cartel, yeah.
right? Or it used to be. It's now
Right.
owned by the government. So now, but you literally just walking through the historical park area
And fruits is fall.
and fruits just falling, and you
Okay.
could just sit there and eat.
Oh, that's cool, but is
Yeah,
anybody
okay.
selling it?
Some people are plucking it up. Like if you homeless, they sitting on the what's the name?
You might as well.
They collecting as much as they can
And
on
then
the
they
ground.
They sell it.
And then they sell it like they cut it up. They
Oh.
slice it up in little pieces. Like
Well, they
say
did
it's
the work.
pineapple.
They did the work.
They-
Like
Wow,
say
Well,
it's
the
like a
hygiene
pineapple.
of it, though.
Yeah, how they cleaning it?
But they don't.
No, you clean it when you about to
Y'all
eat.
about to say you can clean them on your own. But what I'm saying is like a pineapple. Like they're not selling you the pineapple like that. They sliced up the pineapple the whole 9 yards.
Ready to eat.
But the
Okay.
thing about it is everybody eat off the trees out there. So you're talking about like literally.
You're paying for the convenience. That's
So
what it comes
Oh,
down
that's what it is. You're
got
paying
it.
for the convenience. Now, when you with the Indians, it's totally different than the Hispanics. The Indians, it's like I was just plucking the pear and I'm eating the pear like that. Like everybody is those being in the mountains with the Indians, lifestyle totally different.
Did you
Of
have
course.
like a meditation moment where you like
Meditation,
eat, love,
moving, the
pray.
whole 9 yards. Like
What was it called?
Yeah.
Pray,
Eat,
love.
love, prayer. Eat, love, pray.
Lord,
It-
everything is
it-
different.
it's so beautiful and relaxing. It's like one of the best feelings.
I can imagine.
Because I even met the Indians in Puerto Rico and Mexico before, but this was the first time like I lived with them for half my time being over there.
Wow.
Did you
So,
go
like-
native? Like, are you going back?
I'm definitely I gotta go back anywhere.
No,
No,
I
but
mean,
did you go native? Like did
like,
you
you're like,
did you
this is-
transform?
you know how I'd be like, this
What do you
is-
mean
this
trans
is-
or not?
Did
Carve and
you
everything.
put yourself in a native aspect?
Like, I
yeah,
gotta
of
live
course.
here.
But it was a beautiful, me being Muslim and Islam and like the Indians, the way they live is similar. It's like it's not even that much of a transition.
So would you
for me.
live there?
Hell, like full time?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Let's just make that perfect
That
clear.
was the question I
No,
wanted to know.
only reason I'm a city boy, so like it's a little different. Now I do appreciate that my family from the South, farmland and the whole 9 yards. So I do appreciate it. I just don't. I need to be in the city as
You need
as-
balance.
I need balance.
Yeah, I
So-
appreciate
Yeah.
it too.
So do you want to talk more about it, or
Hold on,
That's another time.
you
That's
got
another time.
No, I know.
They about to transition.
Yeah.
No.
They can't forget that I'm here.
No.
I am here.
First of all,
I've
I
arrived.
think I'm right with transition, so we would wait for the right time. But since you interrupt,
That's
another
another
thing we gotta talk about.
This is all gonna be cut and edited.
I think so.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it
No, it's not. Especially the part where she says, "No, well, you gotta guess."
Trust me. No, I'm gonna have to edit that because that could be proof or evidence of
Something.
So as our guest Myrna here today, right? You're running a couple of businesses, right?
It's one, and then there's
there's one, and you got the sister company. Right? You got the umbrella, right?
Yes.
Okay, so one of them is Dream Color.
Colorful Dreamer.
Colorful Dreamer is the blog, and then Dream and Color Events is the events company that's kind of on pause right now.
Okay.
And I have Beloved Cremas.
Yes.
My
Which
Haitian cremas.
is really
it really is good. It really is good.
Okay, so
I didn't bring it here today
no,
because what I had was.
Put me on. Talk to me.
It's like I don't want to
So
say
it's
this.
the Haitian, it's the
He's
better
about to say it.
version.
no, it's not. It's please don't say it.
Don't say it. I feel like you're gonna say it. Don't say it.
No.
But he said it's the better version of it.
Can she explain her company?
I was about to explain the liquor to you.
It's liquor.
It's something that.
Oh, I got you.
That Caribbean, Haitians, we drink, especially around the holidays.
But it seems like every
Caribbean
island has their version.
They have their own
It's
version of it.
okay, so
It's not coquito.
No,
It's like
it's like rum cream.
Yeah, there we go.
rum cream.
Or like Bailey's.
Yeah.
In a sense, but
Or like
or coconut cream.
Coconut, yeah.
So you have your own.
I make it, yeah. I make it and I sell it every year for the holidays.
It's really good. And when I say it's really good, it really is really. I know my people, please don't come for me. I don't like cremas. I'm just gonna be the first to.
Oh wow, really?
I don't.
And the fact that she loves mine.
No, So.
No. We're like when you bought yours last year.
Let me tell you something. I was watching Bridgerton last year, and I was like, let me taste this. He came home. He was like, I was like,
yeah. So that seems to be what happens. I brought a bottle to my friend's holiday pajama party on Friday. And no lie, it wasn't my intent. Really, I was just, you don't show up places empty-handed. And I felt so bad because it ended up being a whole selling moment. Everybody was like, yo, where do I get I sold 6 bottles.
It's really
People was cash out me left and right. I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. My friend's girlfriend was like, yo, 10%, what's happening here? I was like, I know, sis, my bad, but people love it. Americans love it. Everybody love it.
The recipe is different because the typical recipe doesn't taste that way. It tastes light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
gotten better this year too.
Girl.
So I should have brought a bottle, but I'll drive back out here and bring you one.
I was gonna say you still came out here empty-handed.
I sure did because he don't piss me off, but that's a story for another day.
Okay, so besides
Beloved Cremas,
yes.
I did Dream and Color Events, a Colorful Dreamer. Well, Colorful Dreamer was the first company because I'm a writer. And the premise of it all is I feature people that follow their dreams without apprehension. Okay. So being a Haitian woman, we were raised, if you have to be a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, right? And my background is in performing arts. But they thought it was just a hobby after a certain time. They're like, okay, you got that out of your system now. Focus on what you need to focus on. And I was like, well, wait, I really want to do this. So I pushed it to the side to appease the parents. But I really I admired people that just followed their dreams no matter what, even if it didn't make them money right away. So I started off the blog just featuring people like that. I just interviewed people like that. My intent wasn't to make any money off it. I just sought inspiration from them. But this year I focused on myself for the blog because I realized my whole blog was other people. I was like, well, what about me? So I was sharing more of my story and the whole self-love journey and all that stuff.
So did you share about your story about what you just said, what you fell in love with? So the irony of it is you following others who's chasing their dreams, right? And seeing them, attack their goals. But you really like writing and you like following other people doing it. Did you speak about that, like about yourself
Yeah,
in that aspect?
Mhm.
Okay, that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
I shed a lot this
Okay.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a writer, so that means you're great with words.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I'm a stickler for grammar.
No, bro.
But you
I
have
hear
a
people say that they
background
writers.
in literature.
Well, yeah,
I-
my undergrad is in English creative writing, and
Yeah,
my
okay.
master's
yeah, I
in
remember that.
public relations. So
And-
I'm like a writer.
And I saw that you also wrote for 105.1.
I was a blogger for the MEZ show.
Okay.
You know, he's a fellow Haitian too.
Okay.
So I did that for like a year.
Okay.
I was featured on Black Enterprise. I did a lot of little things here and there for people, and I like ghostwriting in a sense too.
Mhm.
I fix people's blogs. I edit people's things. I've edited dissertations. I've transcribed dissertations. I've done.
That's
That's
good.
dope.
That's good.
That's dope.
What now? With it sounds like a lot of hours that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance that with your personal life?
Honestly, when you love something, it doesn't feel like work, right? So
Mhm.
you just do it. I just have to allocate the time, because I'm one of those people that, you know, they say jack of all trades and master of none.
Mhm.
I'm the Jane of all
There-
trades, and I strive to master them.
There's actually more to that, but I can't remember the whole paragraph that
Yeah.
comes to that line. But it doesn't stop right there.
Yeah,
But,
and I don't even know what goes on after that, so you could tell me later. But I don't do it in a way that I'm out of my league. You know, some people like just do a whole bunch of stuff and it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I really try to master the craft of whatever I'm choosing to do.
Okay.
So how do you balance it?
I'm regimented. Everything's on my calendar.
Okay.
So
I
Organized.
allocate
Organized.
time. So if I have a project, let's say for you,
Uh-huh.
and you wanted me to restructure your website, all the content on your website, and you gave me a due date. So every day I'm going to allocate a certain amount of hours to that
get that
project to get it done. But I'll time myself on the first portion of it to see how long it takes me to do, like let's say the first page. And if it takes me 2 hours, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself 3 hours each day
Mm-hmm.
towards this project. And I'll put myself on a timer and everything.
Wow.
Okay.
I like
So
that.
which one of the sister companies that you have led you to doing the
The dope.
hoodie? Stand up for a second so we can see the hoodie.
Because I like the hoodie.
Since you are
Since you are dope, dynamic, opulent,
prosperous,
prosperous, and exquisite. I said
Yes,
exquisite.
and I have one for men that says, bro, you're dope, but I forget what I said with the acronyms for the guy.
Okay.
But I came about it last year for my birthday. So every year since last year, I decided to launch something new for my birthday, like a gift for myself.
Okay.
So I worked really hard on designing these in t-shirts. I'm closer.
Yeah.
I have one I wanted to launch this year, but I kind of fell short on it, but I'll launch it.
So where could people
On
find that thing?
colorfuldreamer.com.
Colorfuldreamer.com. Listen, look up that hoodie. Get them.
I like
How many
it a lot.
colors?
Thank you. Only black and white for now, but I do want to play with more
She's
colors.
racist, but okay. Well,
Is it because black and white are my favorite colors? What can I say?
nah, black and white is dope. Black and white is dope.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and if people request different colors, I can do that too.
Okay, and what's the turnaround time?
So it's a third party. You know, I do the drop shipping thing.
Okay.
So they
You
get it
won't
within a week.
You won't want to ask her that on camera.
But it's fine.
No, that's fine because listen, people have an expectancy now, especially with Amazon. You have a 2-day shipping.
To
But
be honest-
even now, the 2-day shipping is fucked up right now.
Yeah.
Can we
So-
take an edit moment and just like open the window? It's like warm in here.
Yeah, I was just
We
saying
black
to
and we
her.
real close.
Facts.
That time was like, get us out of here. Our noses was like, oof.
I'm mad you said the disco
Leave-
thing.
This-
The discotheque.
Leaf for sure.
Leaf special.
Leaf special.
Leaf special.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels good now.
Okay.
All right, so we ain't going nowhere. It was just whatever.
We still here.
So
yeah, so you say you balance it out by organizing, and then once you finish that, then you go attend to your domestic life.
Yeah, I'm really big on I celebrate small wins.
Okay.
That keeps me encouraged.
encourage.
So if I'm like, okay, it's 3:00. By 6, you need to be done. If I'm literally done by 6, I ain't gonna front. If I'm waiting on a show, like if there's a show that I know I've been waiting to watch all week, I will watch it and I get so happy. And I put my phone away, you know, like no distractions because it's murder time.
Right.
Yeah, it's important.
Do you have any children?
No, I have a 5-year-old toy poodle who's my son.
Okay. I was about to ask.
I'm so serious about Ricky, okay? Y'all gonna learn
What's
today.
his name?
Ricky.
Ricky.
He's named after Rick Ross because he's my boss.
I know that is right.
Okay. Yeah. So.
I know.
Ricky the Toy Poodle, you can follow him on Instagram too.
Rick, oh, he got his own Instagram too.
Yes, that's my baby. He gonna make me money one day.
Oh.
I just haven't signed him on yet. I ain't got
Ricky
time. Thank you. Yes, the shout out.
Man. Hey, yo.
He's adorable.
You gonna put some respect on my baby's name.
He is adorable. I have a newfound love for small dogs.
You have to
After
come
we got
visit him
that
one
big
day.
ass dog that we got. I got a new. Back in the day, I'd be like, why would I ever get a small dog?
And he has such a personality.
Now, I'll be like, why did we
get a small dog?
Big ass dog.
Yeah,
Dislocate
I mean,
my
it's only a problem when you're walking. I mean, you're doing it in
It's
days.
like straight dislocate your whole shoulder.
So, as a black woman in the industry or entrepreneur, because obviously you work for yourself.
Oh yeah, that's a whole story too.
What's the biggest misconception on your journey, or with from your experience as a black woman being an entrepreneur, chasing your dreams?
Oh, that's a great question.
So I told you I'm back with a different mindset.
The misconception part.
Take it easy.
I think the misconception is that they think like, or they expect me to be like struggling. I'm one of those people. I pride myself on never looking like what I go through. Like you
Which
ain't
is
never.
a good thing, right?
And if you ever see Myrna looking crazy, be like, ooh.
You're really going through it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't allow. And it's not an ego thing. It's not a pride thing. It's just a me thing and how I was raised.
Right.
You know, like
to be in my
my
business.
parents raised us to show up a certain way in public. Like
Right, no matter what.
even if we're taking out the garbage, it's just like you can't look crazy.
Be prideful in
Right.
what you do.
Yeah, like you have to have a presence about you.
Right.
So I was laid off in 2019. Like a lot of people don't know this story about me, but like I haven't worked a full-time job in 2 years.
Okay.
And if it wasn't for my faith, and I ain't gonna front, y'all laugh, but that dog saved me from a lot of depression, like real deep depression, because he was there, when other people weren't, but I was following my dreams. Nobody told me to do it, but I looked at me being laid off as a sign for me to do what I wanted to do. Like I literally got laid off and I was like, wait a second, hold on. Wait, I prayed for this. Because every morning I would wake up like, God, I don't want to go to this job no more.
Right.
Because my background is in sales. I was doing sales for 15 years, but I lost my passion for it because I didn't feel like I was helping people anymore.
Right.
And they let
Sales
me
ain't
go.
helping people.
They let me go on April
is.
Fool's Day. I thought it was a joke. And I was
So
like,
this
wait, are you
before the
joking?
pandemic?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
2019. And I walked out, and this was in, not Chelsea, Lower East Side.
Right.
And I walked outside, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I went crazy. And I had like a group of girls that I was cool with when I worked at Yelp. And they were like, okay, come to the office. When we looked at LinkedIn, she was like, come to the office. We'll do like a business plan. Like this. That's why it's good to have good people, right? In your
Right.
life.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they were like, you got this. Like, we gonna write this out. You got your business to do. This is what you always want to do. I said, you're right. And they just put me back in line.
Right.
Apply for unemployment.
That's right.
Because the government gonna run me my coins.
That's right.
Okay? That's reparations. That's how I look at it, okay?
I mean, they took out of your check.
Okay?
All
Did I
these
not
years
invest
it
in
took-
this? This
And
is my money.
when was the last time you was
That's
on
what I'm
unemployment prior to that? Never. So yeah, so it's you
I
saying
worked
good.
even when I wasn't supposed to be working. My dad had a dry cleaner when I was growing up. That's where I was working.
Okay,
Oh, I
so
remember that.
At 10 years old, like.
So
yeah.
entrepreneurs, that's
It runs in our family.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Wow,
so-
that's a beautiful thing. So now, because you became, you was laid off before the pandemic, and then now you see like when the pandemic happened, is people lost their jobs, and now you see this influx of black men and women. They are seeking to go out and do for self, like they took that time out.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Like you was a year ahead.
You're ahead of it,
Right?
yes.
You're ahead. How did that feel?
I felt like I was ahead of the game. Like,
Yeah.
like I knew this. Like I was on it already. Like my finger was already on the pulse of it all. That's how it made me feel really great. Like it almost felt like God set me up for it too.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like friends that were panicking, I was able to assist them because I was already a year ahead of it, and I was encouraging them like, listen, this pandemic happened for a reason. Like, look and literally dig inside of yourself to figure out what your passion is, because it's not that job that you was going to every day.
That's
And
right.
if it is, that's fine. But really, like, that's the purpose of the blog too. Like, dig into yourself and figure out what is it that you truly love and that you could wake up every day to do, and if somebody didn't pay you for it.
So
And that's what you should be
So
doing.
you was like, welcome to the entrepreneur side.
Yeah.
Right? And you was able to lay out all to apply for unemployment. Plus, for them, they was getting an extra check, right? Because of
I got that extra check too. You know why? Because I went and I got my real estate license. Then I became a bartender. Everything I wanted to do, I did it. I got my real estate license in New York. A friend of mine owned a restaurant in Harlem. I was bartending for him right before the shutdown.
Okay.
Okay, so because of that, I was affected by COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
So
But
I
you
got-
were.
You
But you
were.
weren't just.
Yeah.
You
But I
were.
was.
But you were.
And they added on the little pandemic assistant, you know.
So with that being said, we're getting close to the end of the year. Real close.
Yes. Like
So-
last week close.
So, in a quick rundown for everybody, what has the year been like? What's the changes? What's the aha moment? What's the
Pivotal
downfall?
moments.
The pivotal moments.
Teachable moments.
So there is something that I'm working on that I'm not sharing, and it will be revealed later on in 2022. And it took a lot of dedication. It was another lifelong thing that I've always wanted to do for myself. And oh man, when unemployment ran out, that's when the reality of everything hit. Like, oh, you ain't got no cushion no more. So what you gonna do now? But you know what's so crazy? During that time of me receiving those checks, but still making that extra money on the side, whatever. Hopefully, nobody from the government.
You ain't make no extra money.
I
on the
didn't
side.
do a thing.
You did not do that.
Nigga Lil Wayne said, "Nigga, what money?"
At all.
Facts.
When that ran out, I was like, okay, so how much faith do you really? I'm not really trying to make this a gospel thing or whatever, but like it's the truth. Like literally was my anchor, like my faith, because I never stressed about money, but it fell into my lap, and a lot of people have to remind me, well, Myrna, that's a testament of who you are because of
Right.
what you've done for others. So
That's right.
the payback, like the karma, like the good karma was coming back to me, and a lot of opportunities was coming my way that I didn't expect for my writing. And I wanted that I wrote that down for 2021.
Like your goals.
That I wanted to make more money with my writing.
Right.
And a friend of mine, she's an entrepreneur, and her business started blowing up, and she asked me to start, because she liked the way I interview people and write it out, whatever. She asked me to start doing that for her business, and it put me in positions for me to be like writing for Warner Brothers and
Yo, you know that she been name dropping the whole time she been here. Yo,
She knows she's just been.
I'm about to have a little comedy at the bottom like they did for Kanye and Drink Champs.
Yes. It's my truth,
It's
because
my
I love it.
and it's
love
things that's
it.
been exposed to me that I didn't seek out. It came to me.
Right.
You know, and like I didn't have to worry about my rent. And where I live in Newark, people count my coins for me because of where I live. They're like, "Oh, you got money," and I was like, "If only you knew." Like, I bust my butt. Like the gig, what they call it, the gig industry, whatever they call it, the gig, whatever. We're in a
Freelance?
we're in a gig economy,
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Because I even started doing Lyft driving,
Right.
door dashing, all of that. I did it all.
Okay.
And it doesn't take anything for me to say. You know, some people be so ashamed to say those type of things.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I was about to say that's great. I always do a little side gigs all the time that pay.
What they say, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
Right.
The average.
My bank account is fine.
Facts.
I'm good. Do I look like I'm
should be.
struggling? Do I look like it?
No, listen.
So the year I can say in one word would be faith. That's it. That's what sustained me.
What about you?
What, me?
Mm-hmm.
What was that me? I apologize. That's my dad. I'm just gonna close that. He wants us to take clove tea.
Oh, because of the
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of Marion.
Call it again. Keep it on there.
You know what? I realized this year, the biggest thing is perseverance.
That's another one.
Like, I realized that 4 years ago, I would have stressed out about certain things, right? Like, I'm a person that, like, we were talking about that earlier. My passion is to make sure that everyone around me is good. And, like, when we started, because, I write the goals for 2021, and it's like, okay, this year I gotta find what my passion is. Like, I'm always trying to find, I want to write, right? And I wrote one sentence for 2021. I have like a vivid imagination. Like, my imagination takes me to places that are insane. And stories that I come up in my mind are like bananas. It doesn't even make sense. And I'm like, I need to put that on paper.
You should.
I should. And Gina's like, put that on paper.
And if you can't, record it.
I know.
Listen,
But I get-
I got one too.
he did. But like, I get caught up, and I love other people's passion. I don't know why. Like, when someone comes and it's like when you're like, I'm focused and this is what I want to do, for whatever reason, I feed off of that.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm a very passionate person. So what I focus on, like, I know it's going to manifest.
Period.
So if you are around me and you're like, I want to do this, and you're focused on it, and I decide to focus on it with you,
yeah,
it already happened in my mind.
You better not. I still need that energy myself.
It's coming, baby. It's coming. And when it comes, hashtag Maldives.
We have this thing, right? So it's like when everything we've been working on finally hits the pinnacle that we wanted to reach,
Maldives.
it's gonna be hashtag Maldives. Whether I see it first or she sees it first, it's gonna be a text to one another. Hashtag
Yeah.
Maldives.
Like,
That's what's
we
up.
know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, come home. Let's go.
Like, we're leaving right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope. How about you?
You want?
Oh no! Can I just tell
Yeah.
people one thing real quick?
Yeah.
One thing I learned for this year is chill out on the stress.
Mm.
And I know it's
Easier
harder.
said than done.
No, I know it is, and I do. I get it. Like, this year, one thing that I learned that was really instrumental in my life, and it just came to me by reading, and I just, that's the other thing. I did a lot of reading in 2021, is that I realized that every single disease starts in the mind.
Yeah.
Every single disease. And us as a people, brown people, like, we are stressed.
Yeah.
And that's how they getting us.
Like,
We're sick.
We're some stressed people.
No, yeah.
We are sick.
Right? You know what I mean? And we are sick as a result of being oppressed and
But what they're
pressure.
feeding us too.
Not only
There's
that,
that.
but like the mental, it's the psychological manipulation that
Yeah.
we've gone through for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
So what I realize is, in terms of stress, be mindful of it. For me, what I used to stress out about, everything always works out.
Always.
But 4 years ago, 2 years ago, right? Last year, we went through a crazy refi. That was like crazy. And I was so like stressed out. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is the problem?
I'm not understanding.
No.
The ops are serious.
Like, I was like,
If you
bro,
know our area,
you
ain't
know,
that many of us
first of all,
here.
you know
Yeah.
they're not gonna make it easy.
Yeah, correct.
And I was just like, what's the problem? Like, what the fuck? And then you know what happened? I was like this. I was like, I prayed. I was like, you know what? I'm good.
Let it go.
Either way, I will always like land on my feet.
That's it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
and sometimes
You know what
don't
happened?
listen to
But you
me.
gotta speak that over your life for real, for real.
You know what happened? You guys got your clear to close? I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm
Think
just
you don't
chill.
want to listen to me. Like, turn around and be like, look, listen. Chill
But
out.
because I'm used to, like me, I'm used as a person to be, like, I'm a very
Yeah, but what you're doing,
intense
you're
person.
wearing yourself down. Just like you said, you
Yes.
learn to not stress about these things.
Right.
And like, you
So
know,
I
I
know,
But
refuse.
it's not easy to unlearn.
No,
But
I
yeah,
understand. But you know,
I
I
learned that
refuse.
this year.
Yeah.
I'll just keep that for my part. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I learned that this year,
Yeah.
that regardless of what happens, I will always be okay.
Yeah.
That I have something within me. Anything that I've ever wanted in my life manifests. And I'm not talking shit. Like, I'm not saying, oh, in a year you get it. Anything that I want, anything, it doesn't matter what I want. Like, it will always happen.
Yeah.
And before, I used to think it was coincidence. I did. In my mind, I'd be like, oh, that worked out for me. In my mind. Then I came to realize that's not coincidence.
Yeah.
That's literally my will. However, I also had to learn that you have to let things happen in perfect grace.
Yeah, you
because
have to be
I would
patient.
bend things to my will, and they wouldn't happen the way I want to.
Yeah.
Like if there was an obstacle in my way, I'd be like, I need this out of
How
the
do
way.
you move it? Yeah.
Yeah. It would be gone, but another problem would arise. So now I'd be like, what is mine is mine, and it will happen for me under perfect grace. I don't want it if it's not mine. Yada yada yada.
And it won't pass you by.
Girl.
What about you, Gene?
I like how you keep pushing the question and not bringing it to yourself.
No,
He's gonna finish off. He's gonna finish off.
You did. She did ask you.
Oh yeah, you
I
did.
did. Thank you for pointing that out.
I got you, babe.
He's still trying to think of it.
No, I know exactly what I'm gonna say. I'm just, I love hearing other people's stories.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for the most part, we go through this journey together with, for the most part, but we still have our separate issues. I've never been the one to really stress about things because I feel like if I ask and pray for something, it's coming. Now my focus is to keep my eyes open when it does come so I can realize it's here and not fight it still and still keep asking for it while it's still here.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing. Again, for me, for the year, it's been somewhat of a wake up and blur at the same time. I lost my father earlier this year, right?
My condolences to you and your family again.
I mean, appreciate it. But at this point, it's kind of like I'm going through a process of healing. So at one point, you're kind of like, is this really happening? And we all been there once we lose somebody that close. But in the midst of that, it took me a little bit to kind of snap out and be like, look, listen, they need to see what you can do when they were at a distance and know that you're here, but they couldn't see what you're doing. Not that they're everywhere. They need to see what you're doing. So that really put me on the ball of really focusing on doing things intentionally and being mindful on the focus, right? With that being said, 2021 was a tough year. So business is going up and down, whatever. I really dove into cryptocurrency and you really learn about wins and losses. And it could be a gut punch, but if you really believe in what you're submerging yourself into, then you know that the lows is only for, just like in real life,
A little while.
it's temporary.
Right.
And there's bigger moments. So with that in hindsight for 2021, I realized that success is always around the corner. Right? It's all about how patient you are to see it or how open-minded you are to see it and how focused you are.
Yeah.
True indeed.
Man. For myself, just listening to you three, all I heard was believe in yourself and be patient. We always say as Muslims, Allah loves the patient one who's able to endure the struggle. Because nothing that's great for you, the God always puts you through struggle.
Right.
So you can prove yourself that you deserve it. That's right. And when you get it, you won't squander it.
Correct.
Right?
You can handle what's
You
next.
deserve bigger, better things.
100%. And so this year, with that being said, I guess in different ways, different problems or challenges that we all have, learned the same thing about myself. There's really nothing that I can't do.
Right.
That part.
Like I knew that ahead of time.
Right.
I knew that ahead of time, but I really believe in myself more so now, and especially towards the end of this year, I had to learn I don't have to do things on other people's time.
Yes.
Because everyone else has an expectation of you, regardless of even with like having close friends. I get advice from Jean and Marie all the time, and just their family in general. And I got other people that's a part of my council that I look up to as well. But even with the great advice that I get from them, it doesn't have to be
right
at
now.
that point in time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might not even, I might not have to do what Marie advised me to do 6 months later.
Yeah.
So 6 months later, or maybe a year later.
Yeah.
Because timing, as you said, bending things to your will, you're gonna always have something.
You gotta pay the price.
You gotta pay the price.
Yeah.
Like,
Always, too.
because I ain't supposed to have done this until 6 months before,
Right.
but I'm
Yeah.
doing it in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Now it's like I don't even get to enjoy
Facts.
what I want for myself because I got other challenges to keep it. That you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
It's not even your own
But also
challenges,
you're
it's
not-
people's challenges.
It's other,
Yeah.
You're not
100%.
learning too. In that process
Right.
of wait, you're supposed to learn.
Learn.
something.
One-
Yeah.
That's a fact.
100%. And so I've learned so much as in, and even then, like, I learned from being on the show, my taking a sit back, watching, see where my value at. Like, I know what I do, no one else can do. That's my own gift.
Correct.
And sometimes I do want things like a snap of a finger, but I also do know what my value isn't instant gratification.
Yeah.
I'm here for the long haul.
Exactly.
So for the long haul, people will appreciate, like, when you go to the table, people will appreciate you throughout time. And sometimes people get challenged you, right? Like having enough patience to endure the wait out and be like, I now understand what Rashawn was saying.
Yeah.
At that point in time. And sometimes you will like things, like, for instance, so if we in front of the cameras, we get our brand is based upon numbers, really, in reality, right? So sometimes we want the numbers to be like this, but I'm not. I had to understand, and what I've learned through the year, that even if some things that segments that I was on that went viral, it didn't go viral a snap of a finger. It didn't go viral until a month later, or maybe 2 months later. You know what I'm saying? The whole 9 yards. While you will see some people could put something out and it'll go viral instantly.
Yeah.
Right? But being able to endure and be patient and just wait for your turn. Everybody has their day in the sun.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
what you
say-
said about when it's your time, it's your
It's
time.
your
Like,
time.
what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
Now I'm
it
gonna
is.
say something about that though. The instant gratification factor is that when you see somebody else doing something, it happens, it goes viral quick. Understand that usually when it goes viral quick is usually the shit that's obnoxious.
Yeah.
But
No
the true
purpose.
the true value, the
No
message that comes
message.
across, that
Yeah.
that shit travels slow.
I noticed
That's true.
100%. Somebody said to me, actually Gregory Reese said, he says, you have to understand, when you being genuine and really have a great message for people, they're not gonna get it until they down.
Right.
It's so true.
For the most times, it's 2-3 in the morning.
Yep.
They probably scrolling on it. You said it, all right, cool, and kept it moving. But when 2-3 in the morning, when they're alone, and then a certain circumstance came up in their life, or they ponder about something,
They're open to observe.
now the message,
It resonates.
the
differently.
good message, if it's a good message, will
Yeah.
hit them, and they be like, damn, that was. And then now I've looked. Man, my inbox is like full of people saying
Overnight.
It's so
just
true.
like you just say, yo, bro, you said something on a segment on YouTube, like people coming from YouTube signing my DMs on Instagram saying, yo, bro, that saved my life,
Right.
And that's I had to get used to those type of DMs because I've been getting those for over a year now, but. It's too. That's a lot on the mind.
Oh, yeah, that's
hearing
heavy.
people's stories over and over and over again, and bad stories and sad stories, and just how people made a breakthrough. But just being able to be a vessel to help others, man, that's my passion.
And not let it get to your head.
And
Be humble.
definitely can't. One thing for certain. That's why we always start off. We give praise to the Most High, because anytime somebody be like, "Yo, bro, thank you," I start off my sentence by saying all praise is due to Allah, because I know it ain't really me.
Yes.
I'm
That's
just
what he put in you.
sharing the knowledge. I'm just transferring the knowledge. All of the knowledge is his. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
I'm just doing my part as being a vessel by being I'm just trying to be a great conductor. In
Yes.
other words, that is my thing. I'm just trying to be a great conductor.
I love that. I love that.
So-
Yeah.
It is.
And plus, I check
learned
his
that.
humbleness at the door when he comes in.
He walked in humble. I could attest to that. He walked in humble.
I mean, you should always remain humble.
One thing, man. Listen, that's because it's a story, right? They say you have a shooter and a sniper, right? So the shooter he don't got no aim. The sniper is the one that got it, but the sniper is in the back, right, in the bushes, and while the shooter is out front at the circus, telling people they betting. I bet y'all can hit
The
this.
rah-rah.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
So he's shooting. Everybody think it's the shooter, but it's really the sniper. Then one day the shooter got beside himself. No, he's no longer humble. He started really thinking that it's him doing the shooting in reality, right? And then next thing you know, he gets in an argument with the sniper, and he told the sniper, "I don't need you." The sniper went about his business, and then now all of a sudden the shooter, he had to humble himself.
Okay.
He had to learn to humble himself because he forgot that bro, it ain't you with the aim.
Okay.
You
It
know,
was
I
me all the
like
time.
his saying, when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Okay.
Stay
Right.
humble.
Stay
Yeah,
humble.
stay humble.
Now-
And then you have to be consistent.
Facts.
Because what you were saying it speaks a lot to consistency. Because I struggle with exactly what you're saying. Because I see all these people going viral and everybody resharing people's stuff. I'm like, why people not resharing my things?
Right.
But then, like, when I least expected, people were like, well, when I went back to your live, and I'm like, that really like resonated with me. Or like, oh, I've been struggling with that too. And I'm like, oh wow.
Right.
So you're right. When you least expect it, people are watching.
Right.
They just take their time to do it, or they need to tap into it when it speaks to them.
Right.
But also they're watching your consistency. When you fall off, then you lose them. They're waiting for more, but they're just not telling you.
Plus, we have this thing where we're waiting for the support from our surrounding to boost us
Listen,
up.
don't get me up
And
here
that's
bugging,
not
okay?
that's not the one that you get first. You most likely get support from outside.
Okay.
And then the inside comes in after the inside sees how much the outside appreciates
And that
it.
really
and
pisses me off.
it
I ain't
hurts
gonna
so bad because I know it. I mean, I've always been an entrepreneur all my life.
Right.
I always been working for myself. I don't know nothing really too much of working for others besides side job. Those side gigs that I did. Other than that, the endurance of being able to depend on yourself, that's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
So, it hurts so much because I'm like, dang, why do I get way more support? Like, when I first started cutting hair, it wasn't my family and friends
That was getting haircuts,
Yeah, it was. They ain't start coming to me until the outside start putting pressure on them. Like, you don't go to Rob?
Yeah.
Rob, right, the whole 9 yards. Like, you had to wait till I get nice, while
Get
other people
started.
just supported
I think
me.
that's a thing where the familiarity of
Yeah, but it's annoying.
it is
It's
annoying. Like, you know how Jay say you do mistreat the one that you're loving? Like, 'cause
Like the one-
Yeah, like the one that you're
yeah,
hugging or
yeah, 'cause,
whatever.
like you're so used to the person that's very close
They
to you.
say
There's that
too
familiarity.
much
You don't
availability.
appreciate the
Right.
yeah.
Too much. What they say when you're too available, it causes like disrespect. Like they don't respect you anymore.
Yeah.
They said the
That's the
prophet's
problem.
not respected in his own hometown, as they say.
But that's
Right.
messed
The
up.
closest
Like,
people to
It
the
is.
spring barely gets wet.
And just like the meme that's been going around that people, do duets to. Like, how come you're not famous yet? Because you ain't share my shit. How come you ain't share my shit? like,
100%.
like, you know what I mean? You expect me to be this thing, but you're
But
It's-
you know what?
it's
This year,
hard.
I definitely learned this year who my target audience is,
And
and that it ain't my inner
Listen,
circle.
I saw this I don't know who the rapper is, right? Because they popping up left and right. But it's this young kid and he's
baby,
like
baby. I don't know who the babies
and
are.
he said that
Might be a little baby
he
now.
needed some bread. He needed some bread to do something as he was coming up in the game. Like he was getting to that point where he just needed to do this and it was gonna be on. So he started a group chat. Damn, I wish I remember his name. He started a group chat with his family, cousins, aunties, right? And said, "Listen, I need $100 from everybody. You guys about to get your income tax. I need $100 from everybody. This is what's about to happen. Boom, boom, boom." He said there must have been at least over 20-something people in there. Only 2 people gave him $100. He said after that moment, his shit went fucking up. He said those 2 people, they're set for life.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you gotta feel
Okay, hold on now. hold on.
No, but you have to understand. No. Before you play devil's advocate to these people, I know you, but you have to understand something.
Hold on.
But these people are getting their income tax check.
I get
What's
it.
$100?
But
Number one.
No, you can't say that. That's not fair.
Okay, it's not fair. It's not
You
fair.
know people's lives.
I understand. But
Okay,
what I'm
so-
saying is that same $100, they probably went out and bought a Gucci belt with it.
That's my
maybe,
point.
Okay?
Maybe they
Maybe,
did.
but
or maybe
we
they
know-
paid
we
back
know our
bills.
people.
We don't know.
We
We
don't.
know.
We
But
can't say that.
but you gotta look at it like this again. If it was that easy, see the thing is,
Everybody
your challenge,
would do it.
everybody would do it.
Do it.
Right.
And it can, but the thing is, it can be that easy. It's just that when you're dealing with people, you can't have people to if it was that easy, like again, everybody would do it. But when you have people who don't see what you see,
They don't see your vision.
sometimes, but it's meant for, which is why it's much sweeter for you when you finally gain it and you believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
See, you can't.
I was about to say
I
something
share
else.
everybody's. Put like this online, right?
Mm-hmm.
I share everybody's stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't even have to tell me to share it.
I'm
Like
like
if
that.
if I know it's your birthday,
Yeah.
and I see it, like if I see it, I'm just gonna happy birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like that, but I don't do that looking for you to do it for me.
Right. You do it
And
out
the
of
reason
love.
I actually do it because that's just who I am.
Right.
Correct.
And because others not like me, that doesn't gonna change me for being who
So
I am.
I'm trying to get to where
Look,
you are.
I don't know. Like,
And I'm just being honest.
No, I got you,
Because
but
it's hard.
because it hurts. I do
hurts,
understand
yeah.
exactly what you're saying. When it's time to make moves and when you want things, you need the support.
Yeah.
You don't. It's like who gonna save me when I need saving, right? That type of
Yeah.
mentality, right?
Mhm.
So I understand exactly what you're saying, but this is what your character in those times is going to dictate who you are. I'm
That's
not
true.
going to allow Marie or Jean to move me off my square. I'm
Why you gotta
me.
use our
We would
name?
never do that anyway, so don't use our
Did you
name.
forget
like
my-
that.
you forget mine?
Bullshit.
Did you forget mine?
You were good for a second,
Listen,
but you use our name in
Don't
the wrong.
put that in the-
Wait, did you forget my name?
Listen, my
Yeah, you
bad.
did.
Listen, my bad. Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah, you
Murder.
did.
Yes, you
There
got it
you
right.
go, murder. There you go. Listen,
See, you-
right? So, my bad. I write Mariah and Jack. All right, Mariah.
Okay,
It's still close enough,
How
goddammit.
about Sam and Tammy?
Sammy, I'm not gonna allow anyone to move me off my square because now I'm emotional about something.
Yeah.
Now I'm making a decision off of emotions,
Emotions, yes.
and that is not conducive
Yeah.
to what I need to do in life.
Yeah.
For me
right.
to make the moves because that's the wrong type of energy that I need.
Yeah, he's
I need-
absolutely right.
So
No, I
at
agree.
the end of the day, like just having patience, believing in myself. I know I could do whatever I want to do. Like really, reality. I just been. I was hard on myself. I'm actually. I was doubting myself. Was I like this year a little bit? If I was a good dad, right? For certain things, but. I know I'm a damn good father. Every time my daughters, just the way how safe they feel
Right.
or secure they feel, like they don't even have, I watch them being so careless. With little girls, you can or children in general, you can see how they feel around a parent or just in an environment in general, by just how careless they act a lot of times.
Oh.
The carelessness a little bit is showing like they don't even think about nothing. They don't have nothing to worry about.
Right.
They shouldn't. They're kids.
Which 100, but but sometimes but when you see people in bad environments,
Yeah.
you can tell in
A little more cautious.
in the child, like you
Yeah.
can
Nervous
see
energy.
the energy,
Yeah.
like they always
Yeah.
nervous,
Yeah.
Yeah.
feeling like they gotta look over their shoulder and things, and that is not they don't feel secure.
Right.
So just believing in myself, man, and it's a beautiful thing. And just I still got good friends,
Yeah.
right?
That's a
just
beautiful
having good,
thing.
as you said, that was important. Having like good friends.
I gotta say something. I forgot to say something.
That's very important.
Um,
I filtered out a lot of them.
Throughout the year, also going through ups and downs, and there's parts. I'm not gonna say I didn't believe in myself because that's never been one of my things. Not believing in myself, but understanding when it was time to do something and not jump the gun. So remember how we talked about the book? You wrote yours, right? Which you're going on tour next year.
I'm on my third book right now, like finishing out. I didn't realize how it just.
Like, I'm gonna need to talk to y'all because I'm like still. I have so many books sitting in me.
All right, well I'll tell you what. Here's mine right here.
Oh, you better play it.
Shout out to my boy Gene. Shout out to my boy
Children's book.
It's a children's book.
Children's book, Unexpected Little Heroes. This year was actually the opportunity for me to sit down and like, listen, you got this free time. Do it.
Yeah.
And you know we gotta do a pop-up shop, man.
I'm gonna fuck it. Let's do it. So the whole thing was anyway. So again, and listen.
It's such a really lovely story. You have to tell me. You have to tell everyone how like when you drop the kids off at school and they would be like, "Tell us the story," and they still try to do that. Scott's 16. Like tell us a story where you're like making up a story to keep the kids entertained.
I mean, this is how it ended up happening though. Like I wanted the kids to have early lessons as to what life will bring you and how to react to it. So as I was telling little stories, they would ask me how I was as a kid.
Yeah.
And I would explain to them, but it came to a point where I was telling them so many stories that I'm starting to get as old in my stories as I'm progressing in my life. So then some of the stories are a little bit too rated for them to hear. So then now I'm like, you know what? If they need a story, which they're asking for every morning on the way to school.
Oh wow!
Sometimes I don't brush my teeth and I'm trying to tell them a story, trying to keep them.
But
it's just, I'm sure every parent does this. You're dropping your kids off at school, you ain't brush your teeth.
You don't gotta tell them.
But so
that's his PR talking right now.
So now I have to create stories as I can't tell them the real life stories because it's not age appropriate. So then I started incorporating them into stories as to how they will play things out, how they should play things out. As being siblings, not forgetting to work together, and how the world will perceive you and how you need to work with that. So
I love this.
Teachable moments.
Oh man.
And by the way, like I don't know, like if especially in Haitian folklore tales, there's always a teachable moment.
Always.
And I think that's what happens. Like it's always like, do you remember? Like I don't want to go into it, but like every story that I remember from a kid that we would read.
It was fable related?
It was fable related.
But it's so true.
Right.
But the fables were stories that's based on real shit.
Yeah.
You think about the boy who cried wolf, right?
Right.
It's an example. It's a story. I mean, it's a story, but it's really an example.
Yeah.
Like, stop fucking playing games and calling out for help when you don't really need it. Because when you do need it, nobody's gonna come to you. You abused it.
You know the funny part is,
You're so
about
passionate and loving.
How come?
The funny part about it is a lot of times that's how people like to learn. But when I say like to learn,
that's a hard lesson though.
I'm saying a lot of times people want to. At most, I'm gonna use this term, and I'm gonna really say this. Immature people don't like you giving them the answers. And the reason being is because a lot of times some people want to feel like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
So we tell these stories in a different way, using characters, right? Using characters, using somebody
not using you or them as an example.
So then now, but you done gave them the answer.
Yeah.
But now they saying like, oh, you know what? They took the principle of that story and they like, oh, I got the answer. Because they don't want to feel like you told them what to do or anything like that criteria.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people learn, they like subconsciously to learn that way. They want to be told. Now it's easier a lot of times, and it's funny how people like that. is people are quick to listen to someone who ain't in their circle or
Right.
close to them
Right.
faster than someone who, than someone like Gene Rod. You need an X, Y,
My
and Z,
ex
this,
used to
that,
say
that.
that to me all
Bro,
the
I'm a
time.
grown man. You don't tell me what to do.
Right.
No, but I
Right.
think it's the same premise of people going to therapy, right? Where you have somebody who's completely unbiased. People like an unbiased opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what happens is a lot of times when you go to family for advice, they've known you your whole life.
Yeah, you think they're trying to like sugarcoat and cushion
Right.
things.
Or they know like, okay, sometimes they're projecting, sometimes they're like, you ain't going through shit, stop. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes they're protective.
Yeah.
And it comes out in the wrong way. Like you're like, look, I'm struggling. Like I don't know. I'm having dark thoughts. Girl, you ain't going through nothing. Stop.
Yeah.
Because they're not prepared to
Yeah.
help you. Like they that taps into their own stuff.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of like I'm always saying have compassion for people around us, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody has stuff. And sometimes, like, when we're dealing with our own stuff, we're so tunnel vision about it. We're like, yo, I'm going through my stuff. But you have to realize, like, people got their own traumas. They got their own stuff that they're going through.
Yeah.
And if you're a loved one, that makes it even harder
Yeah.
for them to be like, how do I take care of you?
Yeah, how do I help you?
Like, how can I help you?
That's one of my biggest challenges. Like, within the last 2 years, so many people that I love and care for have lost loved ones,
Right.
specifically parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I am, I'm like a natural nurturer. I'm very passionate, like Marie says she is, and I'm a loving person. Like, I just want to make you feel better. But I've realized when people are mourning, you gotta let them be. Like, there's nothing. Number one, there's nothing you can say or do that's gonna change the circumstance.
It won't.
And it took me. I actually lost ties with a friend because she couldn't handle that from me. She felt like I was doing too much.
Right.
And she was one of those that didn't know how to deal with like emotions. So it pushed her further away from me, and it caused the demise of our friendship. But it's like, damn, but this is who Myrna is, right?
Right.
So now do I alter Myrna to make someone else feel more comfortable? Or do I learn just how to help, like just how to be when people are grieving?
Well, you will.
And that's the part that I have to do.
You will be altering Myrna by learning to react differently.
That part, but I'm not
not.
losing my nurturing
No, you're not
side.
losing your nurture,
You're
but you're
actually
understanding. You're actually understanding when to nurture.
That's the part.
So you're still altering Myrna.
But I still like.
But she's not
So
altering
if I'm
Myrna.
thinking of them, I'm one of those. I'm
It
really.
still would,
Right,
but
but-
I was about to say it's not altering yourself.
It's not.
It's still who you.
It's just an adjustment.
I was about to say rather you jump out being a nurturer or you wait to.
So you're altering that
ready to
Myrna
still-
instead of the jump out Myrna.
Can I
you're-
just- Can I just say one thing?
I was just about to say rather you jump off, like if you saying that you always like you're a nurturer and then you see somebody going down and this is a friend that you know that's the way they wants to receive love, and then you nurturing that person, and then you got another friend that they don't like to be loved that way, and you just be like, all right, you nurture from a distance, I should say.
Right.
It's still you who you are. It didn't change you from who you being is. It's still a part of you. You know, the biggest room in the house is room for improvement. So at the end of the day, only thing you doing is picking your times that you do certain things. It's still who you are, though.
Just like
Yeah, I can't.
Can I just
you guys
say
just said a
real
whole
quick?
bunch of shit.
For people who are like for me, just going from my own personal experience, losing my mom, it's not about you. And having friends that have lost, like Gene lost his father, like
Yes.
lost. Okay, so it's like someone told me a very long time ago when I was fresh into the field in mental health, and like I was taking on people's issues, and I was so intense with it because like I wanted to like save people.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and he said it's not about you.
Yes.
It's like it's not about you.
Correct.
So I think when you like, whenever I have somebody that's going through whatever they're going through, right? It's like it's not about me. It's not about my ego. You can say, Marie, get the fuck out. I'd be like, all right, cool. That's it. Like, my ego's not bruised. I'm not even hurt.
Yeah.
I'm really not. It's not about you.
Correct.
So it's like, what do you need?
Good point.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if I'm the person that I don't want you to touch me, I don't want you to, if you just sit with me for an hour,
Yeah.
no words are exchanged.
Yeah.
We don't say anything to each other. Just you sitting, I will sit with you for 8 hours. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need. And then I have other friends who like, you want me to hold you. I
Yeah.
will hold you for 8 hours. Then I
Yeah.
have other friends that's like, Marie, I need you to run around with me to pick this up and this. Tell me, like, what should I wear? I got that. Like,
Yeah.
like everyone is different.
And that's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say now I feel more comfortable with that. Like, I just kind of give them what I just treat everyone the way that they want to be treated in that moment and remove Myrna from it. I was watching the new Sex in the City.
Oh, girl.
You watched it?
I am on episode 3.
Okay, so you know what happened.
Yes.
And okay, spoiler alert.
Yes.
When Charlotte, she
Facts.
made it about her.
Girl.
And when I saw that,
I'm like,
I was like,
I do not like
no,
that.
no, but in that
I don't like
moment,
that.
I saw an inkling of myself
oh no.
as to what I did to that friend that I lost, right?
Mm.
Because it was because she blamed herself. She made it
Yeah.
all about her, and I was like, wait a minute, it's not about you. And I was like, Myrna, I had a whole epiphany, and I was like, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it hit me so hard, but it made me proud of where I am right now.
Yeah.
Because I've done the work enough for me to know how to show up for the people the way that they want me to
That
show
they
up
need
for
To
them.
be aware.
And you're right,
Yeah.
I'm not losing myself.
Mhm.
I'm just
Right.
using discernment. I'm being more mindful,
Right.
and I'm listening, and I'm being more observant to what exactly they truly need.
The only
Facts.
thing you're getting is just getting closer and closer to balancing yourself out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that feels so good.
And
Can I tell you?
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
I like, just to piggyback off of that. I learned this early on when I used to practice. I don't practice anymore. But when I used to practice, right? I learned that early on, like, you should never have, as a clinician, your client having to take care of you. Because when you're doing therapy, you're gonna go through
Oh,
like
yeah.
intense stuff,
Yeah.
traumatizing stuff, like horrible stuff, and it's gonna impact you as a human being. I'm a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm doing therapy with you and you're telling me like your most intense trauma and it's like really intense, and I'm like, oh my god,
And
you're
then
like,
and I have to go.
now you have to take care of me,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
Now, at the end of the day, you're still a human being. You could acknowledge what's happening. If I'm like tearing up, like I just want to tell you, like what's happening is like really impacting me. That's fine. You can be yourself. You can be a human being. But again, if you always remember, the shit ain't about you.
It's not about you.
Yes,
Yes.
You know what's funny, because doing what I'm doing, and I get a lot of people, you know, Maurice used to say that, like, don't what'd you say, don't let it stick to you, or something like that. Pretty much what
Mean
you
like
said.
boundaries.
Like in other words, don't take on other people's problems. In other words,
Yeah.
like, because you reading a lot of people's problems, it was a reminder. Like, being a barber, I hear everything anyway, right? I hear people marriage problems. I hear everything. So, but it's on. Let's just say I'm dealing with I'm dealing with like 500 people at a time.
Ooh,
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
So, like, just say
All
I'm
that
dealing.
energy.
So
Yes,
just
a lot.
because sometimes they don't have to necessarily be my clients. We in the barbershop.
Yeah, you
So
hear everything.
you talking to even another barber, like, actually it's on the floor.
Mhm.
Actually, the conversation's on the floor, because they get in many different perspectives from people that's married, that's not married, the whole 9 yards, right?
It's funny how it happens.
Yeah, it's
though.
funny how it happens. It's crazy. But now on the internet, now you're talking about thousands of people.
Yeah.
So all it takes is for me to show my vulnerability, and they be like, bro, I know exactly what he's going through. I'm going, and then they start
Connect with you on that.
connect with me on it, and like things. So when she said it to me, it was like a reminder to, because each level is new levels, new devils, as they say. And then so each level that you go at, you need the reminder for the principles that you might have even already knew, but you can lose yourself a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean, you could lose yourself. So, like, just learning each level that I'm moving in life, to regain, to keep things in balance, to never lose the principles. Principles are immutable no matter what level that you're at. And then always look at each stage as we evolving as a people, each stage, look at the lesson of each level. You can't make it to the next level until you see like what is he trying to show me about yourself though?
Because it's going to keep appearing too.
100%. Because it's really showing you a lesson to be taught about yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Right? It's
I'm
like
good on the lessons.
yeah.
So, but
There's many more to come.
Listen. It just made me think about something.
What happened?
Can't stop the lessons.
Listen. Think about, as we're talking about learning lessons and we're good over here?
Yes,
I'm just saying I'm good on the lesson.
She's good.
You know you gotta go through stuff. No, I don't.
I want you guys to understand the segue where I'm going into, right?
Yes.
I hate to be going this way, but this is reality. We recently just lost a rapper, Young Dolph.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to know him, but I'm gonna ask you a question which pertains to him and some other people.
Okay.
You have people that are trying to reach this goal, which is either being a rapper, a basketball player, or whatever it is. You're trying to get out that situation, what we call the hood, right? Or the poverty state, or whatever.
Right.
Now you make it to that pinnacle. You reached that pinnacle. You made it. Do you go back to the same area that you were trying to escape the whole time? Or do you move on and leave that behind and start brand new? Because, as we could understand, one of the reasons why, I don't know if there's a backstory to it, but the fact that this man died in the same town that he grew up in and was trying to help, which other people have come from that same place and said, listen, yo.
Where are you from?
Tennessee, I think.
Memphis, Tennessee. Right? Like, yo, ain't nothing here. That's the reason why we're rapping, trying to get out. So.
Wasn't he just visiting?
No, he lives in the area.
Yeah, but it's more. It's not that.
I don't know the details.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not.
Listen.
At another time, I will go into that.
Listen, I understand that. I might be cutting out some things, but the point is, you're still reachable in that same area. So the question is, why or would you, after doing all of that, go back to the same town that kind of like made you struggle and didn't see you as a person? Or would you just move on because that was the whole point of busting your ass to get to that success?
I mean, go back in a sense of what, living there or just like visiting? Living.
I mean, was he living there because like, okay, I know perception and then I know reality and I know there's somewhere in the middle. So like, I don't know the details, like, you know what I mean? I think sometimes there's a perception that maybe, oh, I got a record out, that means I got like bands on bands on bands. That doesn't necessarily translate to reality. So I don't know the details, like maybe he wasn't equipped or ready.
No, this man was living.
He owns a lot of real estate.
Over
Okay, so
100
maybe
properties.
was he trying to rebuild his neighborhood?
Listen.
He was trying to provide.
He was in a beef. First of all, let's just make this
I feel like we don't know the details.
But according and this is not the first time that that he got shot. He got shot. Actually,
he got shot.
They got him twice. They got him actually. No, he got shot before. Like
okay, so
maybe
forget the beef. The point is,
but
do you go back to that same area that you trying to?
Well, it depends on
walk
you.
away from?
I was about to say that's going to be circumstantial depending on the person, as she said. So I can't really. I'm gonna be one of like I'm underneath the mindset that if I had it to be able to change other people's lives, I'm going to change other people's lives.
Yeah.
So
would you do it from being within, or would you do it from a distance?
I do it from afar.
Well, I'm gonna listen. Well, first of all,
I would.
first,
Especially if it's not
first
good.
of all, if it's going to, for me, like for me to say that, right? 9 times out of 10, it would be from a distance because I'm always moving up
Correct.
to do something else.
That's the whole
So,
point.
but my thing, but some people aren't mentally equipped in that aspect. Some people, you got to realize, that's why I say it's circumstantial. If you know, if I'm able to go back to my hood and remodel, I just be paying people to do it for me.
Yeah, okay. I was
Like,
about
you
to say
gotta
that. Like,
understand.
I don't have to physically be there.
Yeah, I'm about to say it doesn't make me feel less of a man if I can't. But some people feel I just look at it like this now. Like, we in communities now. So like, would that stop for me? You got, and then it's a little. That's what I say, circumstantial. So it's different. Like, I'm in the Nation of Islam. It won't just be me. It'd be a whole army of me, right? So it's a difference. It's a whole nation behind me.
Correct.
So, but some people don't have that. Some people just, they waiting for you to this. I remember, man, we used to take his coat back in the day, whatever this case may be.
Right.
And this person is trying to do for his community, and then
that's what I was
then
thinking.
the hatred comes to play in. Yeah, so like
It's like Jay going back to Marcy Projects. Like Jay-Z physically going to Marcy Projects and lingering around there for a while. No, Jay's going to bring his Rock Nation team to handle his business.
That's right.
He going to cut the check. He going to make sure whatever he needs to get done, the projects,
That's right.
everybody got an assignment, and he keep it pushing because he knows the people. At the end of the day, you got to know who's in those communities.
Right.
So why would you physically go there knowing that these people may or may not be in your corner? They may look at you with hating eyes and be like, I'm gonna diminish you.
They hate your success.
Correct. Or some would be like, oh my God, I really love you. Da, 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 da. So if you don't know what to expect, you send others.
Right.
You cut the check and you're still serving the purpose. You don't have to physically be there.
And I agree.
Period.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't, like you said, perception. Sometimes people aren't grass rooted as you think that they're grass rooted, or at least in their mind thinking that they're grass rooted.
Okay. Yes.
Knowing the people is knowing who to make the phone call to, right? It's like that's like, if you can't call up somebody that's there, I'm talking about that make decisions. Yeah. Then you're not really grass rooted as you think that you are, right? But so some people are able to make moves without being physically there. And look what Meek just did for his community, right? He's directly on his block, but those his cousins too. So you gotta look at it like everybody's circumstances is different. Yeah. Hope been out the hood for so long, ain't none of his family members still in Marcy.
Big facts.
Well, but celebrities think that they're invincible too.
Well, there's always that too,
right? You sometimes their reality of like the successes. They don't, it's like, how can I say, they're having out of body experiences. I could only imagine, like, oh my God, they didn't even think that they would make it this
Or maybe
big.
they're like thinking, I took care of this hood
hood's gonna take care of me. Nah.
You know what? I think one of the biggest problems is that people have a problem separating themselves from reality, because
you're right. Because even making a transition, going out like when I've been out the projects for a long time. I haven't sold a drug in over a decade, right? Over a decade, right? So for me, I remember making a transition, and then people were like, yo, bro, what you want to do? Oh, you on some corny? And then now my pride of having put hands and feet on somebody, I had to still transition from that.
Wow.
Because
you said hands and feet.
No, 100%. Because I'm like, bro, and then
and you're making break the whole.
So the longer you've been out, the longer that you done changed and you're not living in the hood no more. Now, people who wouldn't normally test you, now they testing you now, because now you like, dang. do I throw all what I just worked for away,
right.
because they think that you done arrived. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I haven't arrived nowhere. Like,
They want you to prove.
They've been waiting to take
prove
that
to them
slide
that you're
anyway.
still the same person.
So,
But-
100%.
But my thing is, people need to learn to separate themselves
From what they have really going on.
Well, not
in
even
reality.
that. From people that you knew
Mm.
for
Knew.
a fact never was on your side.
Yes.
They was only with you for the good times.
Trauma bonding.
Season,
Because we
lifetime.
both grew up in trauma. We both grew up
Right.
underneath bad
Yeah.
We might have
circumstances.
jumped a couple people together. We might have did a robbery together and whatever.
Yep.
But guess what? We don't always stay at the same level. One of us might grow, and the person that's growing has to be able to understand. Like the person that's not growing, it's okay for them to leave. And before we talk about leaving, I don't want people to say like, "Oh, you just leave somebody." No, you're gonna talk to them like, "Look, listen, dogs. This is the moves I'm making, and this is what it is." Now, if the person can't grasp the idea of how you're moving, how to move, and they feel like this is too much for them, you have to be able to be okay and be like, "Look, we reached our pinnacle."
Yep.
And by the way, it's not even just a hood thing. People
No, it's not a
outgrow-
hood thing.
No, I'm just saying people outgrow people
All the time. Yeah, no, it's not a hood thing.
Like I think let's normalize wherever you're from, you're gonna outgrow people that you know.
And listen, by the way, when we're saying people, we're not talking about friends.
Yeah.
It could be friends, and that's
We're not
fine.
talking about friends. We're talking about friends. We're talking about
It could
family
be
members.
friends.
Yeah.
It could be
Like,
family. It
you
could
can't be
whoever.
afraid to move away from that because
Like, you're gonna
they
outgrow
are the
people.
biggest. They are the biggest balls and chains.
But it's not easy.
It's not.
because you're thinking about the history and you don't want to hurt feelings.
Yeah, but see, again,
and
you're
all
making
that.
you're making decisions based on emotions.
I was about to say sometimes you have to know. Hey, yo, listen, I'm
Time's
doing
up.
something. I'm focused on this. I'm gonna highlight y'all. Deuces.
No, wait. You gotta give them a chance
Right.
first. You with me or no?
Listen,
This is what I'm doing. You understand what I'm doing? Yes or no?
I
You
got
with me
you.
or no? Yes or no? Cool. All right, then I have to move forward.
No, 100%. And
But usually, I don't mean to cut your wisdom, like you would say.
go ahead.
But usually, when you're moving like that,
Wisdom, I like that.
that's his word.
That's his thing.
So, usually when you're moving in that type of direction, the ones that know automatically gravitate with you,
Maybe.
and the ones that don't
They kind of fall off.
they fall off by themselves.
Yeah, but sometimes.
But then you have the ones that are they're like the tick.
But
Right? They're sticking around to see how much they could take away from you before they could fall off.
Nah, but
What? Okay, can we just what age group are we talking about? Like,
There's no age group. Do you have people that are?
Nah.
No,
it really depends because at the end of the day, like you gotta realize, depending on what you want, a lot of times things is meant for you to feel like you're alone in many aspects to see if you believe in yourself.
Right.
This is true.
So, like, regardless of the fact, that's why I'm not
all
mad.
the time.
Which is the reason why I'm not mad when I don't get the support that sometimes I might think in my own perception that I should get.
Yeah.
I'm not really mad because I don't all right, see, the God tested me. I said that I want something. The same amount of zeal and energy and positive energy that you have when you say you want to do something.
Yeah.
Remember, this universe is built off of positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same amount of force on the opposite end saying, are you sure you want this?
Yeah.
Let me see if you want it when you
really
don't
gonna
feel like
challenge
doing it today. When you don't feel like getting up. When you having
A bad day.
bad day. You know what I mean? Your children getting on your nerves, whatever the case may be. Let's see how much do you really want it when you get hearing a whole bunch of no's, the whole 9 yards, right? You'll start, it's so draining, that whole nother type of energy, but you have to have enough patience and endurance to say, no, I'm getting
Listen,
up.
I got somebody recently that told me, like, yo, dogs, you don't hear from me no more. Like, you do shit by yourself. I'm like, you know what? I was born by myself, nigga.
Oh,
But-
that was hard.
I gotta tell you how it is because for some reason
And
you
men
feel
do
like
talk to men
you
harsh
feel like
a
you
little
feel like you need to tell me this a couple of times. That wasn't the first time they said it. So
But
I'm
that's
like,
because they're taking it personal. You're just
no, they're taking it personal. But the thing is, the reason why you're taking it personal is because you're afraid to see my growth and to see where you're being left behind at.
Or they don't see your vision.
It doesn't matter.
But
at this point, I'm telling you.
Okay.
But
No,
in
no,
those,
no, no, I'm not
no,
talking
no,
about
I'm
her.
just
No, no.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't take it as anything.
No, I know, but you got a team.
But you know what? I gotta stand up because my butt hurts. In those moments though, I think that you do realize who your tribe is. Because I'm really big on who searches for me when I'm hidden.
Right.
Like when I told you I went through my hermit crab stage with my whole face thing. Crickets. Legit. And it made me realize, whoa, Myrna, you're the one who reaches out. You're the one that's always checking on folks.
Facts.
And it's like, where they at, right? But then I have to give credit where credit's due, like how they reach out. They're maybe not reaching out the way I want them to.
I was about to say, Derek.
Which goes back to you, how you show support when.
What I was about to say, which is another reason I learned to accept people for who.
And I posted that on my stories today. Oprah, it was a thing that Oprah put up just saying, like, you get mad at how people respond to you because you're expecting a certain response and then you get all disappointed. This is literally was the story of my life. And when I saw it, it was such an aha moment for me. Aha, like Oprah says. But like I already had reached that point. So when I saw it, I felt good because I was like, oh, I get it. Like, because I already started that process of disconnecting that, like, Myrna, stop expecting certain responses from people or accept people for the way that they are, the way that they show up for you.
Right.
That's their way. Because I was so big on like, but if it was me, I would do this. If it was me, I would do that.
Because we have to always say, well, if it was me, I can't. There's no other me but me.
Correct.
Ain't nobody gonna do it. It's like I learned the part in business, right? So in business, you have some people that's like that started their business and they want to do everything. Like, why did you hire this person? This person, it's not their business.
Yeah.
They don't have the same love for the business as you. You're never gonna find anyone have the same.
They're never gonna do it like you, ever.
And it's okay. But when you appreciate their value to your business, then you could appreciate this person. Be like, all right, this person, as long as this person doing what they're supposed to do in their position, that's it. That's the only thing that you have to worry about.
Correct.
They ain't gonna love it the way you love it. They're not gonna do it the way you do it. There's no other you.
If they're completing the assignment, that's it.
That's the only thing that matters.
I'm just gonna speak on the other end of the spectrum real quick.
Go ahead, son.
I feel like I struggle on the other end of the spectrum because I love my friends. I consider my friends family. If you are part of my circle, like, you're my family. And I don't expect like calls and things. Like, even I'm a very much I'm not a venter. I don't vent. The only person I vent to is Jean. Again, you gotta be like, no, but hold up though, bro.
No. I'm saying me either. I'm not a venter.
Oh, I'm not a venter. Like, and some of my friends have struggled with that because they're like, yes, he does.
No.
But he does. But some of my friends have like struggled with that. It's like what's going on in your life? Like, for me personally, I'm a very solution focused person. Like, when I have an issue, I will not come to you to talk about an issue because, like, it is no disrespect because I don't believe that you can actually assist me. Do you understand? It's not
a disrespectful.
No, because it is not a disrespectful way.
No, but you gave me a whole different world.
Because like for me, if I have an issue,
it's your issue.
It's my issue.
Yeah,
and mine.
Okay, but
he ain't lying though.
8 times out of 10.
9.5 times.
8 times out of 10, like.
Yeah.
I just don't deal with periods. But
Like,
9.5 out of 10.
Like, you're not gonna be able to help me.
Yeah.
I'm not a venter. I'm not a person that vents. I'm like, oh my god, that's not me. And I know some of my friends have struggled with that. It's like what's going on? Like, everything is good. When I say everything is good, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because like, you're not going to be able to assist me.
So people like you, when you really need someone, you let them know.
What do you mean?
Like, as much as you're like recluse and you could just tackle what you need to tackle at hand, I feel like if it's something really, really important, you would know. Whoa, that's different.
I do not talk about nothing.
What's your sign?
Oh my God, Myrna, don't do the sign thing.
But
I'm a
tell me.
Taurus.
Oh, yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't.
that makes sense though.
But I feel like that's just who I am. I'm a very solution-focused person. When I have an issue, generally, 9 times out of 10, I can solve it myself. All I need is time. I'll figure it out.
Do you share it ever?
What do you mean?
Yes.
No, I don't.
No.
What's the point?
Because it's done.
I mean,
Oh, no, I don't. Like, because it's done. I'm good. Like, what am I talking to you about?
Wow.
Like, I'm good. I'm social.
Yeah.
I like to have a good time. I like to drink. I like to party. I like to hang out.
but it has nothing to do with
But
anything personal.
I'm not talking about my personal problems.
So you know how to compartmentalize.
I 100%. I was speaking to someone today about, like, she was struggling because she was just like, I'm like, when you show up, you show up. I don't need to know your personal business. You know what I mean? Like, when you show, like, for me,
that hit.
Like, this is how I feel. There have been days when I used to work at Rutgers that, like, things were falling apart in my life. Not like relationship, but like other parts of my life. Like, it was dark. And I show up, nobody can know. Like people are like, oh my God, Maria, like, hi. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm here to do a job.
And it's not pride.
It's not pride.
No.
This is work. This
has
has nothing to do with what's going on in my personal life. This is my responsibility. I come here, I show up, I do my job, and I do my job well. And then I leave and I get in my car. And then once I get in my car, my mind is working. I'm like, how do I solve it?
You're more practical.
Yeah,
Listen, and that's actually a beautiful thing. I think more people
need to be like that.
No, should be like that. But the problem is people allow their emotions control their intellect. Yeah. That's somebody that knows how to it's
not only that.
Listen, it's knowing when and who to place information with.
I was just about to
right?
say.
That is the thing. Some people don't know or haven't graduated of learning how to compartmentalize when they're pressure.
Yeah.
Like when you want to meet pressure, some people don't know how to handle that.
Can I just say, I just personally, like, if you're going through something and it's a lot for you to carry and you have someone that you can trust, unload.
Unload, yes.
I just don't I'm not a venter. Do you understand? That's all I'm trying to say. I don't find it helpful to talk about my problems. Like, I think about solutions. Like, when I have a problem, I'm thinking about 18 solutions. So, like, it's like, girl, let me tell you what I'm going through. Like, that's not helpful for me. So, you see what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
However, I have friends, like me, I'm the person, like, I don't know if it's because of my background. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like, what's happening? What's going on? What does it look like? Okay. I'm fine listening and hearing and processing and going through it with you. It's just not helpful for me. And so I feel like I always say meet people where they're at.
A lot of people stop talking. I'm not gonna say they stop talking to me, but they've learned to try to process their things on their own, because once they start telling me what's happening, I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, bro, if you really wanted to get out of this, you would have. So at the end of the day, what do I hit them with? You'll be alright.
No, I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Gene, listen, let me tell you something.
Wait, hold
on.
Wait, Rashawn, real quick.
Go ahead.
Myrna, what you say that is?
It's dismissive.
When I tell you that is the most irritating thing.
It's not.
Get over it. It's like saying get over it.
Let me see. He does that to me.
I don't
like that. But you know what? I this is what I do.
I don't like it.
Listen, this is what I do. It's a reminder to me, right? I use it as a reminder to me
that you'll be alright.
That I am going to be alright. And let me say this.
Don't use that for me.
But men and women does operate differently.
Don't say that,
right?
Yeah.
But my thing is this.
You can't say that to you.
Me personally, and he, like, we both, like, we handle things different. Me and him. I don't say that. I don't use that. But I use that from him to remind myself that I am going to be all right. But I would definitely say,
listen, like if I'm talking to him, right, we're talking about something. Before I hit him with, I'm like, listen, boom, boom, boom. This is what it is.
So you talk it through before you hit him with the
after we do a breakdown, and he's still trying to fight the resistance of what the solution could be.
Not fighting. It's not fighting.
No,
that's not.
You be alright. So listen, it's not.
And the way he say it too.
No, but listen, I was about to say no.
Now you want to bring accent into it.
Like when I look at it like I not understand exactly what you're saying because like growing up, like when you growing up in the hood, we don't talk about, like I was taught not to talk about my problems to anyone. So like I was so stubborn at one point of not just like I keeping everything to myself and moving forward now because you know what your mom used to say, anything that goes on in this house
stay in his house,
right? So the whole 100%.
Yeah.
So now, but I had as an adult in my late 20s until now.
I was saying you in your late 20s, what?
Right. To now, I'm 30. I'm only 33.
Oh, you're
right?
33?
Yes.
Wow.
I'll be 34 in March. I fell in love with hearing someone else's perspective. Like I've learned so much. Sometimes if I'm talking to, first of all, I don't really vent like that to people in general. But if I do, it's only about 3 people, right? So, and even then, it depends on the situation, really, reality, right? Some things I will talk about. Some things I'm just not going to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but I fell in love with hearing someone else's perspective and the people that I value in my life, right? And just hearing, let me hear how this person sees this, because I know for a fact I'm not seeing it all the way through. Like sometimes people are arrogant enough to themselves to thinking that they see everything that's happening. Bro, you didn't see everything that happens. You know, you gotta let somebody turn that diamond from a different perspective, from a different angle. And then now when I hear someone's thoughts, it makes me, even if I already knew what I was going to do anyway, it makes me say.
It makes you second guessing.
No, not even. It just makes me get a full view, and be like, I can make a better decision. Because the biggest room I literally live my life like that. The biggest room in the house is room for improvement, so I can make a better decision.
But that's his phrase.
Biggest room in the house is a room for improvement.
So
let me cut your wisdom. I love that. Yes, drop it.
Yeah. So like I fell in love hearing other people's perspective. Like I like hearing what you think about the situation. You know.
But it's funny because I think this year I've mastered that, where I realized I've had only like maybe 2 physical people that I would vent to, and I prayed more, but I realized there's different ways to pray. You don't always have to get on your knees. You don't always have to close your eyes. The internal prayers that I've been having, literally walking down the street or driving, God really heard me, because when I saw it happen, I was like, God, you really heard me?
Facts.
And I didn't even sit down formally and like pray.
Facts.
So it's him. Then I was talking to my sister, who I don't speak to often. So when me and Vasti talk, it's like for hours because we catching up. But she gives me all this perspective on anything I have going on. And then my therapist. And of course myself, because I pride myself on talking to myself. I'm not crazy, but I talk to myself. And I have little, if you go to my apartment, you'll see I have little post-it notes everywhere to remind myself of certain things so that I can remain grounded.
Right.
But before, I used to be like a loose cannon, tell you about my stuff. But this year I learned how to center it and only listen to the people that I value and really gives me a different perspective. And they're not yes people. I cannot take people that just say, yeah, girl, you got it. No. Tell me when I'm wrong. Give me that tough love, because I'm stronger now to take it, because I'm learning not to be as emotional. Yes, I am emotional. I am an empath, but I've learned how to like channel it a little bit better than before.
All right. So
I
with
feel
that,
everything.
so with that being said,
Girl.
what would be a message that you would give?
We do that later.
with that, you're still going.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Next time we'll put somebody in between. So with that being said, this has been a great talk.
It's been amazing.
If you have a message to give to somebody, what would it be?
I'm gonna go last.
We'll start with our guest.
Oh, because he was away for so long.
Oh my God, he played you.
He was waiting all night to do that.
It's okay. It's okay. Nice shot, though. All right. I ain't gonna get you back on this episode, but it's gonna be an episode I'm gonna get you back.
Alright.
But,
yeah.
That was
the
good.
best advice that I could give someone, we're gonna sum it all up what we've been talking about the whole entire time.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You'll edit that.
No, I'm not.
Edit it.
No.
Believe in yourself, but be patient with yourself.
Yes.
Right? Just be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and be patient with yourself. And
That's good.
You're good, sir.
I like him. He's an elaborator like me. We have to cut him and cut. I'm going last.
And
Okay.
scene. You're going last?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, me? Okay. Best advice?
Yeah.
The best advice this year that I've gotten is one of the best advice that I've gotten this year is from my brother Richard. And he says it all the time. And I realized and I understood what it meant when going through a difficult challenge. Richard always says, keep pushing. And I'd be like this, oh my God, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? He's like, keep pushing, keep pushing. And I was like, damn, like, what do you mean? He says, keep pushing. Like, even if it's dark, whatever your goal is, whatever you want, whatever the challenge, whatever you're trying to accomplish, even if it feels like it's impossible and nobody believes you or like it seems impossible, keep pushing. Often what happens is people will want something, they're working towards it, they'll hit a challenge and they'll fall back and just like, fuck it, I ain't doing it. Like, keep pushing.
That's it.
Keep pushing. Just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep pushing, keep pushing. And I know sometimes people feel like, what does that mean? Keep pushing towards what you want. Because, can I tell you, it worked.
That's right.
That's it.
It
The
did.
test is a testimony.
Yes, he does say that all the time.
Keep pushing, right? He does. Keep pushing.
Um,
Not a man of many words.
my advice would be, fuck what other people think. Alright? Your first belief is the true belief. Meaning that if you say it to the wrong person, they're gonna shoot you down. Meanwhile, you had the good idea the whole time. Fuck everybody and anything.
That's heavy.
Yeah. No, it's
Made me take a sip of my pinky up.
with your pinky up.
Yeah.
Told you that's what that lady, I told you.
$1
that's what the lady told me.
million.
Told you
Yeah.
that's what the lady told me, right?
Right.
Right?
You'll be alright.
Yeah. Oh God.
You'll be alright.
But he said that nicer though this
Just
time.
don't say that to me.
He said it real nice though.
Oh, see, why you gotta go like I
Don't
interrupt you
say
guys.
it
You know
to
what it
me.
is because it's not.
It's very dismissive. Just don't say it to me. I don't
No,
want to get into it. Just don't say it to
Alright,
me.
you know what,
Then we
we
keep it cool.
Because no matter what's happening, if you sit down or take time to figure out what can you do or what should be done, and you work on it, at the end of the day, you will be all right.
That's not how you.
But that's not how you say
God
it.
damn it! That's
But
not
but
what we're
you know
doing.
what it is?
This
I'm
is final thoughts.
No, but I was about to go ahead.
Don't be
sis.
doing
Go ahead. Nah, only reason.
Would
is
you guys
because
interrupt
it's-
Jerry Springer if he was doing the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't have
No,
me
you
on.
wouldn't.
No,
Yeah,
Yes,
you
I
would.
would.
but you know what's funny, because I say that to my little brother when I see that he's looking for me to give him the answer about something. I'm not about to give you the answer about it because I need you to
Kind of figure it out.
I need you to figure it out for yourself at this point in time.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna let you go far.
Yeah.
I'm watching you. I got you.
Okay.
Do you trust me? If obviously you don't trust me. So I'm telling you that you on the right path or something.
Okay, so just tell me.
And I got more faith in you than you have into yourself. That's an issue.
Just tell me.
I don't see how this turned into a full fledged. This was my
I
way.
trust
This
you.
was
Figure it out
my
your
way
way.
of saying
Do not
what.
tell me. You be
You'll be
alright.
alright.
So of course, you know what it is. Again, men and women process things
Just
differently.
don't tell me that. And he already knows how I feel about that.
So
Anyway.
what you got for us?
Yes.
All right.
Oh shit, Dimple's about to go in.
Don't. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all
Go ahead, Dimp.
3 to 5. Okay, because I'm the guest, so I can do that.
You about to do what?
3 to 5 pointers.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Don't be afraid of yourself.
Mm.
Okay. The image in the mirror, the mindset you have, like the visions. Don't be afraid of it. Hold on. It's
Yeah,
coming. Respect the resilience,
Mm.
because it's gonna get you where you need to go.
Mhm.
Keep the faith.
Mhm.
It's another way of whatever you were saying, but better way of saying it. Remain faithful, because it will come to pass. You just have to be faithful. Learn the lessons along the way. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Oh, that's right.
Facts.
That's
Go
right.
ahead, Myrna.
Go ahead.
With that being said, listen, thank you for joining us. This has been 2MT98. Again, I'm your host, Ajax.
I'm your host, Rashawn.
Our honorary guest and
Marie.
home team, Mrs. Ajax / Marie. And this is Myrna. Dimples.
Beloved.
Beloved Dimples. All right. You can catch her on all social media platforms, which we'll have posted. But appreciate it.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace.
Deuces.
Yay!
I survived.